The NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship back on the racetrack for round at number 4 at the Texas Motor Speedway on their quest to $10,000. 43 drivers getting ready to go green. Tony Stevens, Joe Cortez, along with myself, Tim Terry, Nim Cross on pit road, and a whole host of production assistants pushing all these buttons to get going here this evening. Guys, almost speechless there because this racetrack is fast. There's 43 drivers getting ready to take the green flag. And it's anybody's guess as to who's going to win this race, Tony. 3 races, 3 different winners. 2 of those are first-time winners. Ray Alfala's deep in the points. Your Pro Series champion, Chad Lawton, deep in the points. There are many, many stories to follow here this evening at Texas, and we got a whole lot of time to cover them.
Right now, it's that major points leader, Tyler Hudson, currently in 5th. As you see him now pull up to the 29th machine of Kevin King, he's getting a little loose out there. Look, he's almost getting sideways coming through turns 3 and 4 right now on the front stretch. Let's run the roof real quick, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. Going into 1 and 2, he looks like he's just starting to wiggle just enough to make him uncomfortable in that machine. Well, for some guys, that's a good way to set up the car, if that's where you want to be. He does not look like he's comfortable in that 0-1, and I imagine they're going to have to make some adjustments if he wants to keep that thing fast and competitive, especially with Kevin King in front of him and 2-time champion Ray Alfala behind him.
Yeah, he's in a very tight-knit pack right there. That includes just behind Patrick Baldwin and Dustin Montgomery. And these guys, as Tyler Hudson looked to go underneath Kevin King that time into the corner, they have about a 2-second gap between themselves and the next pack, which is led up by the number 9, or the number 26, check that, of Chad Lawton. As here comes Tyler Hudson to the inside of Kevin King. Kevin King to the outside, looking to try to fight back on that outside line because Tony, he's got 1, 2, then possibly 3 or 4 there. That's his teammate Patrick Baldwin. I guess he's going to let him into line there. Baldwin going underneath again once again on the inside, and he's not going to do it. So I guess those teammates really aren't going to push the issue this time.
He tried. He thought about it, but maybe discretion the better part of valor there as Baldwin let King into line. Now he's got to regroup and kind of get back on his rhythm. He's not used to having somebody so close to him, and maybe for a minute there, I think we were kind of thinking maybe Tyler Hudson was a little bit slower than this group. Maybe not. It might have been Kevin King holding up the party. As Hudson and Alfala have pulled out, I think, by parlance right now, Joe. So maybe, well, it's just a call right now. Maybe Hudson and Alfala are going to burn their stuff up, or maybe, just as we were talking a moment ago, they're that good, and they don't want to show everybody, or didn't want to show everybody earlier this week just how good they were on the longer run, but they're starting to reel in the top 3, that's for sure.
Live coverage of the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship continues on PSR TV and MotorRacingNetwork.com, the voice of NASCAR. If you're just joining us, you haven't missed a whole lot. They've got leading all 32 laps so far tonight. Marcus Lindsay will perfectly confirm in second, Julie Round in third, and then that's where the drama starts to shake up a little bit. Tyler Hudson picks up position only 2 laps ago on Kevin King. He's now up to 4th. Ray Alfala is hold steady in 5th. Kevin King, who was holding on that 4th place position so long, is now in 6th. Patrick Baldwin, Dustin Montgomery, Chad Lawton, and Michael Conti all rounding out your top 10 out here. And Tony, I think Tony hit on it right just a moment ago there, Tim. I think everybody's holding their cards close right now because it is such a long race with only left of 160-something. I think a lot of these guys aren't going to really show what they're holding and what these cars are capable of until we cycle through a couple pit stops, get some adjustments done to these cars, and then we're really going to see some battles start to heat up.
Some of these guys pushing a little bit harder right now, and a lot of these guys up in front taking it easy as you watch Ray Alfala in the number 2 working on the 01 of Tyler Hudson for position number 4. We started this race with 43 starters. We have 42 of them on the racetrack. Brandon Cattell in the number 80. I do believe, guys, having some internet issues this evening. He did the 1 lap and pulled it down onto pit road. He's currently 32 laps down, position number 43. Everybody else on the racetrack and in contention for this victory. And that's a tough break for Cattell because, Tony, he was 6th place in the point standings, 86 points on the season, and he's got a whole host of guys behind him, probably about, I think there's 15 or 20 back there within about 15 points. So Cattell could easily fall out of the top 20 here this evening with everything so close as way this.
You know, it used to be with the old style of points, you could say, hey, you want to start, go ahead and get some points and at least call it a start and be done with it, but with the new NASCAR style point system, he gets 1 point for starting or finishing, or at least just make it back and pack and try to soldier himself onto a better finish if maybe the connection gets better or whatever issue he has resolved itself. But Cattell certainly not going to be a problems briefly for the Ottinger. Speaking of connection issues, maybe the people up in Claremont, North Carolina need to keep the hamsters running because Nick Ottinger just had a big moment there in turn number 3, Joe. He blinked out or warped, as we call it, where that computer couldn't communicate with everybody else's, and for a moment there we thought he was gone from leading to.
The good news for Nick Ottinger is he had over a half second lead over Marcus Lindsay and company. So even if he held his speed, he was able to hold his line, he was able to stay in. You saw right there, he just dropped right back into place. And they went back to full flag racing. The battle is as good as well. Some Duke from a little bit later on. If he blinks out again, if he blinks out in traffic, it might not end the way he anticipated or really wants to. And if anybody needs to hold on right now and keep getting up front, it's Nick Ottinger. He's currently scored 23rd in points despite picking up 15 last week. You know he wants to jump out front and really make a splash in this series. They can take the battle behind him. 0-1 of Tyler Hudson pulling off Ray Alfalla right now, and these guys are starting to burn off some of what's underneath these cars. New Cross, when these guys come down to pit road, they're going to come down for fuel, they're coming down for tires. What else are they going to be doing as we ride along with a bumper of Tyler Hudson? Just in a position for Alfalla.
Yeah, Tyler's going to be looking to add some weight to that car to help his condition coming off of corner number 2. Some of the drivers might be a little bit tight right now. Some of them might be a little bit loose. Still on his way to get tire pressure to adjust for those conditions and try to make a better run in the second stint of the session. They're going to have to go 56 laps if they want to make this 2 pit stop race. So the number they're looking for is lap number 56. And it might be a little bit of a stretch on fuel to make it there. But I think a lot of these guys should be able to do that.
And we're only 16 laps away from that point right now as you ride on board with Tyler Hudson and the Anti-Sign Wraps Ford Fusion as we hit lap number 40 complete here. So we have 16 laps to go until that magic number that Nim said to make it on 2 stops. We'll see if anybody decides to come down a little bit early and possibly abandon that strategy. As Rob Ackley, as I say that, Ackley on pit road. Nim, what are you seeing down there?
Yeah, Rob's coming down pit road. Obviously not happy with the handling of that car, and also possibly get some new tires on that car just to go that fast. But he's obviously losing a lot of time out there on the track, which is making him go for this early pit stop.
Yeah, tough break for Rob Ackley. His very first race of the season. That's part of the uphill battle you can encounter in this series, Joe, whenever, especially with a new race car, and you don't get a lot of track time with the same group. You might think you're fast, but once you get in with these guys, you realize you've still got a whole bunch of work to do. They've had 3 races to figure it out. Puts you way behind the 8 ball. And it almost looks like that maybe Ackley is either making some sort of damage repair or is calling it a night, because that car is still not moving off the pit lane, and he's being scored 3 laps in rears.
Yeah, Rob got in the wall on lap number 39 coming out of corner number 4. He got in the wall, heavy right side damage on that car. Down to the king, got in the wall. Second part of the straightaway again, very heavily, and that's done a lot of damage to that car.
Otherwise, nobody coming down pit road just yet. So it's really going to come down to when they're forced to come down and figure it out here. Marcus Lindsay still in second, Joey Brown third, Ray Alfalla fourth, Tyler Hudson fifth, and then the drama starts around that 6th place station as Patrick Baldwin gets around Kevin King. Kevin King and I almost makes contact with the 8 machine of Dustin Montgomery. They're going to get around the 29 of Kevin King. So Kevin King drops in 4 positions, has gone from 4th to 8th in the matter of about 10 to 12 laps here. Is there something wrong with the number 29 machine we don't know about? Or is he just unhappy with how the car's performing right now? He might be mad at that disposition we were talking about earlier in the race.
Yeah, he's going to be looking for pit road here in about 10-12 laps or so and try to get those adjustments made on that race car. King and Montgomery almost had a little bit of contact there with the 29 breaking a little bit loose, and King now falling off the back bumper a little bit of car number 8, one of the Wheelman Incorporated drivers for Dustin Montgomery. Ray Alfalla is looking at Joey Brown up here for position number 3. Alfalla starting to show he has a little bit better on the long run by the looks of it here, guys, as the 2 of Alfala pressuring the 12. Just in front of them, it's the one of Marcus Lindsay, and then Nick Ottinger has begun to step up his lead a little bit. It's now 0.7 of a second between your top two drivers as Ray Alfala once again on the hunt and on the back of the number 12 from Joey Brown. This is your battle for second, third, and fourth as we come up at a corner number 4 this time by 6 laps completed and 10 laps, Tony, until that magic number that Nick said of 56 to make it to this race on 2 stops.
And that averages out to about 8 miles in tank on 2 stops. Very doable, although you're going to be slipping and sliding around just a little bit by the time everything is said and done at the end of 56 laps. You know, that's something I think some of these guys are going to have to look at. You see Lindsay bobbles a little bit there as Brown is inside. Now it looks like Brown going to go for that runner-up spot. Lindsay going to try to fit back in the hole, but no. Ray Alfala is going to fill it up, and he's going to slide right in there in the 3rd spot. So Alfala now moves that forward up to 3rd. Tyler Hudson looking to take advantage as well. He's got 3 car lengths behind the number 1. She ride on board with Lindsay in the Bono Gaming Cockpit Chevrolet. He tries to regroup and find a way to follow Ray Alfala now back up further towards the front of this field. And I want to thank Nick Ottinger move there, Joe, too. You know, these guys are all racing back here, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Ottinger needs to stretch out his lead. You know, supposedly they're chatting with each other on the radio, or their communication device, I guess you should say. It's not necessarily a radio, about cotton candy and bacon. So apparently things are very relaxed in the 05 pit right now.
You know what? Sometimes it's not the worst way to be. If you're just kind of running laps or just relaxing out there, that's not the worst way to run out there. The 12 hits the wall hard, coming off of 4. He's going to drop like a rock, giving up 3 positions, maybe even 4, going to turn 1 and 2. Opens the door for Ray Alfala to go up to 2nd. Marcus Lindsay down 3rd. Tyler Hudson up to 4th. Joey Brown regroups in pit. Patrick Baldwin is hungry like the wolf. He wants to get around, and he wants to try to get into the top 5 for the first time tonight. Joey Brown has to run away regroup after hitting the wall coming off 4. I guarantee he will not know to make that mistake again.
The first part of that regroup was to throw that block on the 52 to really stop the bleeding and not lose any more spots, because the 52 was hungry, and I'm sure the 8 would have been licking his chops to get up past the 12. Now to rebuild, the 12's got to set his sights in the 01, the 1 and the 2 in front of him, those 3 positions that he lost, and he flirted with the wall again, coming off corner number 2. That time by the 52 is going to flirt with his back bumper as he battles with the 12 for position number 5 right now. We come across the strike this time, lap number 51 of 167 in the books here at Texas. Nick Ottinger continues to lead, and we still have 39 of our 43 starters on the lead lap. John Adams is now on pit road. It looks like Adam Gilliland has completed his stop. Nim Cross, the 84 team, is down taking 4.
Yeah, 4 tires and fuel. We'll have to check and see if they did any adjustments or not, but everything looks good in the wait for that car.
So John Adams getting the first car on pit road, and it looks like, at least the time being, Joe, he's not going to be able to stretch that car the way maybe it should be, unless he's trying to short pit, but he was running way back in the tail of the field, so I think maybe it's just a matter of survival for John Adams right now, not so much speed, but he just wants to kind of play around, experiment a little bit, maybe see what he has later in this season, although some of these guys, you know, already, I don't want to say they're throwing their seasons away, but a lot of them are very frustrated. They're in test mode already. They think they need to find something large in order to have a shot at a championship, or else it's going to really just, like I said, change their season as a whole.
It's all about consistency over and over again. You don't have to win every race. You just have to be consistent, and you have to continue to compete week in and week out. You were riding just a moment ago there with Marcus Lindsay and that number 1 machine, the Budo giving competition, riding behind Ray Alfala, who's now looking like he's starting to get a little bit loose coming off of the corners and going into the corners as well. He's running a little bit higher line through that quad hole. He's starting to run at a little higher line, or missing the corner a little bit as he comes through the turns. So Alfala may be the first one to come down pit road, but it looks like the tires underneath him are starting to go away.
Yeah, everybody's going to be struggling on tires right now, and they're all going to take 4 tires for this next fuel stop. Everybody considering right now we might run this race without any caution, so everybody's going to want new rubber, and 5 cars down in the way.
trouble off turn number 4. Josh Lawton is in it, and a number of others catch a piece of it as well. Here's still the grass and brings Schmidt tracking sideways, and somehow, Tim Terry, we are still green, but major incident here as guys try to come on pit road for the first stop of the night.
And here comes your leader, Nick Ottinger, on pit road here, guys. Your leader leading down the number 1 car of Marcus Lindsay, and it looks like Ray Alfala will stay out on the racetrack and get his extra bonus point. Nim, what's the leader going to do here on pit road?
The leader's definitely going to take 4 tires and fuel. He's got the biggest advantage out of all the cars right now. Everybody's on pit road. 1 car right behind your leader, and they're up with the right side tires, and they'll go left side tires also here. Drop the fuel, and Kevin King about 5 car lengths back, 5 stalls back behind them. They're all down the way, and King got a really good spot.
0-5, Nick Ottinger comes off, Marcus Lindsay comes off, Kevin King all coming off at the same time. Steve Sheehan hit a brake check going in, he's going to come off with that group as well. So they're going to be the group to beat as we come back around. They're going to be the group that's going to be together, and they're going to be a very fast group to beat. 4 cars moving down pit road right now. Patrick Baldwin coming in, Tyler Hudson also coming down. The attention of their pit crews. This ought to be a very easy stop for these two.
As these guys come down to the pit road, the 12 Joey Brown missed his entry to pit road, so he's going to come back down. That's going to kill him, the 01 of Hudson, into his box, and it looks like these guys will do 4 tires. Patrick Baldwin is in as well. Ray Alfala now at the end of pit road. He is going to come down to the attention of his crew. The Pro Geek Consulting Ford Fusion down as Joey Brown is also going to come down. And Tony, I don't think he's going to miss pit road this time.
No, I think he'll probably back off because his night has gone from great to not so great to bad to worse.